Hi guys, it's Shanae. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to be doing a declutter video. This is going to be my very first declutter video, and we're going to start off with eyeshadow palettes. I've got way too many eyeshadow palettes. I've got 2 drawers full, like not like long drawers, but like shorter drawers, and I think it's time to just go through it and just get rid of what I really don't need, or stuff that's old. All this stuff will either be donated. If it's expired, it will get thrown out, or I'll be passing it on to family and friends. So I'm a little nervous because I haven't gone through the drawer prior to filming. Like I'm just doing this right now. Like I'm going to do it as we're filming, so I haven't planned it. We're just doing it. If you do like these decluttering videos, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and let's just get straight into it. Okay guys, so I'm currently sitting on the floor. This is one of my drawers with all my eyeshadow palettes. I think they're a little bit mixed up because I know that one is a face palette. Hopefully the lighting is okay. Yeah, I'm on the floor, so it's a little bit hard to perfect the lighting. I honestly don't even know where to start because there's literally so much in here. So I do have the Shaaanxo, the Remix palette. I'm going to keep this because it is fairly new. So it has like the 2 sides. So it's got the original side and it's got all the new shades as well. I'm going to keep that one. I've only used it once. So this one is actually a face palette by Too Faced. This is the Bronze and the Beautiful palette. I'm not even sure if you can still get this because it is so old. So this was actually one of my first Too Faced products, which is, yeah, it's quite sentimental to me because I've just had it for so long, but I actually still use it very often. So I feel like I should actually keep it. It's probably expired, but that's what it looks like, and I still really use these shades in here, so I think I'm going to still keep this one. Obviously I am going to keep my Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. I only just got this and I've only just filmed with it. If that video is already up, I'll have that linked in the eye up here. But yeah, oh my god, love this. Love it so much. It's gorgeous. I feel like a lot of the palettes at the top will be the ones I'm keeping because obviously they're the ones I reach for the most. So another staple in my collection, the Kat Von D Shade and Light eye palette. Again, this is just a palette I always go to. It's just amazing. It's all matte. It's just a staple palette I feel like everyone kind of needs in their collection. They've got like neutral, cool, warm, whatever you need. So I'm keeping this. Okay, so I've got this W7 in the Night Up in Smoke eyeshadow palette. I'm going to get rid of this because I just literally don't use it. I think I've only used this a couple of times. It's literally 50 shades of grey in here. A lot of them just look really similar. I did do a makeup tutorial with it like years and years ago, but I've just haven't picked it up since. So looking on the back, it says that there is an 18th month life on this. I got this well over 18 months ago, since I've opened it anyway, so that will have to go in the bin because that is expired. I love how I justify getting rid of this because it's expired, but I don't do that with the Too Faced one. Yeah, I don't really use that one and I can't pass that on to anyone if it's expired. Oh my god, I'm looking at this Too Faced one and it's literally got a 12-month shelf life on it. Holy shit, this must be growing fungus. Still keeping it. I've got this Clara Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. I think I've had this for about 2 years. It actually says nowhere on the back of a use by date. The colours are actually really gorgeous in it, but do I feel like I need it? I know this palette was also limited edition, so I feel like I don't want to do videos with it because you guys can't obviously get it anymore. I think I might just pass that on to someone who wants it. I know these aren't all eyeshadow palettes, but it's because they're so large they can't fit into my other drawers. I've got a BYS highlight palette. I am going to keep this simply because I haven't had it that long, and like I'm sure you guys like seeing me do like drugstore alternatives and stuff like that. Like I still really love drugstore makeup, and when I did use this, it was really beautiful, so I'm going to keep this. This one I'm a little torn on. This is the Ciate Pretty Fun and Fearless palette. This was in collaboration with Chloe Morello. I'm just having a look. Oh, this has got a 36-month life on it. I think I might keep it. I want to see if maybe I can give this another go before I really decide to get rid of it. So I've got this, the Balm is it Appetite? I've got no idea. Palette. I think I've only used this once before. I think I might actually pass this on to someone who wants it. It's still in perfect condition, barely used it. I think I did a tutorial with it like a very long time ago, but you can actually just open that completely up. It's really cute, but honestly I just don't reach for this palette even though it is adorable, so I think I will pass this on to a family or friend. So next I've got the Too Faced Totally Cute palette. My friend Rachel Lee A here on YouTube actually gave this to me because she just said she didn't see herself using it. I did use it for a tutorial once upon a time, and I have used these green shades a few times just because I don't feel like I own anything similar. This is going to go into the maybe pile just simply because of these colors. Everything else I've kind of got. I reckon I'm going to get rid of it though, so I'm just going to put it in that pile. I don't think I'll miss this palette at all. Next, I've got the Too Faced Natural Eye Palette. Again, this is so old. This is one of my first eyeshadow palettes, I think, when I started YouTube, so that's probably 6 years ago now. Again, it's got a 12-month like shelf life kind of on it. It's definitely off. It's kind of really sad, but I think I need to get rid of this. I just don't think I'm going to use it. You can see that I've used Velvet Revolver really well. I actually used to use this on my eyebrows when I didn't own much makeup. That's what you do when you're on a budget. You multi-use your makeup. I think I'm going to have to just get rid of this, even though it's really sad because there's so many memories attached to this palette. I'm sorry if you can hear dogs barking in the background. The next one I've got is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Beauty Killer Palette. I can't see any use by date on this one either, but I am going to keep this. I really like this palette. I like that it has different shades in it. The pans are huge. I will never make my way through these, but yeah, they're different colors, so I want to keep this palette. Next, I've got the Jeffree Star Androgyny palette. This is another palette I'm going to keep. I can tell that this one actually does have labeling on the back. The other one has nothing at all. Again, this one says a 12-month shelf life. It's literally probably hitting that right now. I don't think any of us really throw out our makeup when it goes off. I'm still going to keep this. I really love this palette. I love the colors, like those greens, that mustard. It's just everything. I really love this palette. Next, I've got this Meat Matte Nude palette. Oh my god, I've literally not even used this. I think I've touched that shade there and the rest look like they have not even been touched. Again, it says 12-month use by on it. It's been over 12 months. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the trash pile, I think. Next, I've got my Sports Girl Eye Shaded Bronze Eyeshadow Palette. I bought this when I did my all Sports Girl makeup tutorial, so I'll have that linked in the eye if you want to go watch that. I actually really like this palette. I haven't really reached for it since, but I'm going to give it another shot to see if I can maybe dip into it a little bit more. I love that Sports Girl have makeup and the quality is actually quite good, so I'm going to keep this one. I have some really old Wet n Wild eyeshadow palettes. So this palette is Petal Pusher. I'm going to get rid of this. It's really old. This is when I did like a Wet n Wild order years ago. The quality was really nice, but I've got these colors, so I'm going to get rid of it. So I do have another Wet n Wild palette. This is Poster Child. Again, it's just as old as the other one. I don't think I own any colors like these, so I'm not really sure what to do with it. Like, it's definitely too old, but can you guys let me know if this is still available to buy? Because if it is, like, I'd love to do a tutorial with it before I get rid of it. So I'm gonna put this in the keep pile for now. So the next one I've got is the Comfort Zone palette, and I remember this was all the rave like back in the day. So it's just got like some browns and greens. It's literally all shimmer, but I feel like I do have all of these colors, so I'm going to get rid of this. Okay, so this is the Kylie, the Royal Peach palette. This came out, I don't know, 1-2 years ago, I got no idea. This is the one that stunk of chemicals. I actually spoke about it recently in products I will not repurchase or that I'm getting rid of. I am going to keep this palette simply to do one last tutorial with it. I'm going to do like a whole another face of makeup I'm throwing out, so that's all I'm going to use it for, but then after that it is going somewhere else. And the reason I am getting rid of it is because I just don't use it. I've got another The Balm palette. This is the Nude Tude, or Tude as an Australian would say, palette. I'm going to keep this. I really love this palette. I've used it a couple of times, but I feel like I can get more use out of it if I really put the effort in. It's just really cute, and I really love this kind of yellowy shade down here. So I've got this Revlon Sculpt and Highlight Contour Kit. Not sure why this is in the Draw. I am going to keep this because I feel like I've really given it a good go. This one actually broke, but I've used almost all of the banana powder, and I like to use these when I'm doing drugstore tutorials, so I'm keeping that. So the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, I am keeping this. It is fairly new. I have not had it actually that long. Surprise, surprise. My friend Tanya actually bought this for my birthday last year in November, so I'm definitely keeping this, and it is such a gorgeous palette. I've just tried to turn up the lighting, so I don't know if that's worked. I'm sorry if the clips before were dark. But let's continue. So I do have these two Pinky Rose palettes. I've got the Center Stage palette, which if you guys saw the video, it just didn't work out very well for me. The palette is gorgeous, but the quality, not that great. I'm going to give it another go before I chuck this out, or just give it to someone who can make it work. So I'm going to keep that. And I've also got my Pinky Rose Bright Lights palette. I have not even used this yet. This is still one I want to try out. Again, very gorgeous. The palettes are beautiful, but quality wise, I guess we'll find out if this is the same quality as the other one. So I'm going to keep this as well. Next one I've got is the Winky Lux Kitten palette. I did a video for this for the Forever 21 store. I'm not sure like even what the video looked like in store, so if you guys did see it, let me know. I don't really use this palette. It's really nice, but I've got all these colors. That's the only issue here. And the quality was really, really nice as well. I'm just going to pass this on to someone who will, you know, use it and appreciate it because it isn't old. I've just already got these shades. Okay, so I've got my Z palettes in here. These are pretty old and banged up, to be honest. I've got like a lot of Makeup Geek shadows. It's pretty trashed in here. I am going to keep these. I think they're really good when I'm doing makeup on other people as well, just because I've got a lot of variety and I've got a lot of colors in here. The quality of Makeup Geek shadows are really, really nice. I do have another Z palette here with more Makeup Geek eyeshadows. Again, I will be keeping this one. The quality is just amazing. So these two BYS palettes, I think I'm going to keep. I've got the peach one and I've got the berries one. I just feel like you guys really love when I do videos with these palettes here. I feel like BYS just seems to be the go for everyone. So that's the peach one. I have already done a tutorial with this, which I'll leave linked in the eye. Going to keep that for now. Like I probably can get rid of it. I've already got the Too Faced peach palette, but I'm gonna maybe keep it for a more affordable alternative for you guys. And the berries palette, I definitely want to do another video on this. I want to even compare it to the Modern Renaissance palette. I'd love to do like a half-half makeup tutorial, like this on one eye and maybe the ABH palette on the other. So I'm going to keep this palette. Okay, so next I do have the BYS Fantasy palette. I have filmed a video with it, but I just have not put it up. And I filmed it such a long time ago, so I'm going to try and edit that and put it up for you guys. I actually didn't mind this palette at all. Like quality-wise, I feel like it was very nice for like a drugstore palette. They're very creamy. They're pretty pigmented, I'll tell you that. I just honestly don't feel like I'm going to really use this palette or dip into it much, so I am going to pass this on. The next palette I've got here is the NYX Beauty School Dropout palette. So you can see it is a very large palette. I did give it a good shot. I've used it quite a couple of times. I have had it for at least a year now. I'm sure like that would still be okay. Let me have a look. Yeah, it says it's got 24 months on this. I've had it for a year. I'm going to pass this on to someone that needs it and will appreciate it more. I've got a very old Chi Chi eyeshadow palette here. This is the Spices palette. I'm a bit torn on like what I should do with this. I think I'm going to get rid of it only because it is old and I just don't reach for it. I've got all these colors in other eyeshadow palettes. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this. Next, I've got the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca palette. And this again is quite large. So it's got some really beautiful colors in it. I actually feel like I have maybe all these colors. I've got heaps of Morphe palettes as well that we need to go through. And it was limited edition, so you guys can't follow along if I do a tutorial with it unless you use other stuff. But I'm going to get rid of this. The next palette I've got is this limited edition Urban Decay palette. My friend Crystal actually gave this to me so I could film a video with it, and I do have a video. If you want to go watch it, I'll have it again linked in the eye. I know it is limited edition, but I think I'm going to keep this more for myself, just simply because these colors are quite different and the packaging, just I really love this kind of packaging. It's interesting, so I'm going to keep this for my own personal use. And if I don't use it, then I'll get rid of it. I've got this little LA Colors eyeshadow palette. I've got no idea why, and it looks like I've never touched it. It doesn't look like anything like too special. Like once you put it on, it just kind of disappears. I'm just going to get rid of this, and the packaging just broke. Next, I've got my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I've had this again for years. I'm pretty sure Jared bought it for me. The packaging is actually broken. It actually sits open. The magnet does not work anymore. But I use the shit out of this palette, so I'm going to keep it. It says it has a 12-month shelf life, but meh. Got the Bare Minerals Bare Naturals palette. So I have had this palette for about a year, and I haven't touched it since I filmed one video with it. I don't know, the colours are quite similar in the palette, like it just doesn't interest me that much. I've got these colours in other palettes as well, so I am going to pass this on. Next, I've got the Bare Minerals Bare Sensuals palette. So this one has definitely more pinky purple shades. I'm not sure what to do with this one. Oh, I feel like I should get rid of it because I'm pretty sure I have these colours in other things. I'm really torn on this. Okay, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to get rid of the palette. Next, I've got the Too Faced Bonbons palette. I remember how excited I was to get this palette, and I hate it. I don't know why I was so excited about it. I think I was just excited about collecting all the palettes. It still smells really delicious, I will say that. I'm going to get rid of this. I just don't use it. I've tried to use it in a few tutorials just to get my use out of it, but there's no interest here for me, and the pigmentation was pretty shitty, like in my opinion. I just had a lot of trouble with it, so I'm going to get rid of it. Next, I've got the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I feel like I just have not got my use out of this palette at all. I'm not sure why I don't reach for it as much as I probably should, but I am going to give it another shot before I get rid of it. I just kind of want to get my use out of it. I don't want to really waste my money here, so I'm going to try and use it a little bit more, and yeah, I guess we can check back in maybe in 6 months or something. Next, I've got the Naked Urban Decay Smoky palette. I'm really not sure what to do with this palette. I probably do not use it as much as I should. I'm torn because I really love these colors here, and I always tend to dip into these. These ones not so much. I think this has to be another one. Keep for now, check back in 6 months. So another really old palette is my Inglot Freedom System palette. I think that's what it's called. So this is another one of my first eyeshadow palettes. I actually made this palette myself. You can see I've hit pan on that one, again, because I used to use that one for my eyebrows as well. I remember I spent like 120 bucks on this palette. I just literally do not use it. I'm kind of not sure what to do with it. It's just more like of a sentimental thing. I think I bought this when it was like mine and Jared's like 2-year anniversary or something, so that was like 4 years ago probs. I don't know, that's gonna go into the maybe pile. Okay, so I've had to lift the camera angle up a bit. I'm not sure if all of that was bloody out of focus. I really hope not, because I don't know why it won't focus on the eyeshadow palette. Okay, so next I've got this Maybelline The Nudes palette. I have had this for quite a while, but I think it's really good when I'm doing drugstore makeup tutorials. It's kind of like a staple palette just because it does have some browns in here, so I am going to keep this palette. Don't mind me, I'm just sitting here in my pajamas decluttering my makeup. Okay, so I've also come across this Designer Brands eyeshadow palette, 12 designer colors. I remember I did buy this. Ugh. So this is what the palette looks like. The quality just was not that great. Probs wouldn't recommend, so I am going to get rid of this. So I do have a bunch of these Beauty Glamour Box palettes, like I've got heaps of them. I'm actually going to leave this until the end because I do have a bunch of Morphe palettes as well, so I kind of want to compare both and see if, like, you know, there's different ones between the two, because I really don't need all of these in all of the Morphe palettes. So I'm going to leave these in this drawer. Okay, so hopefully this frame is okay. My mic is literally like sitting up here on one of the drawers. Let's just get into the second drawer. Okay, so the first few palettes I've got are from Australis. These are the custom palettes, so you can make them yourself. I'm keeping all of these. I only just filmed with them today, so if you guys want to see a video, I'm wondering if it will be up before this one. I'm not sure, but if it is, it will be linked in the eye. But yeah, I only just got these, so I'm going to keep them. I also do have a lot of the pans that have no place to go. but I am going to keep all of these until I find a home for them. So I do have this Pinky Rose eyeshadow palette. This is the Transition palette. So this is the Sunflower palette from memory. Again, I did film a video with it, but I think it's like lost on my computer somewhere. If I do find the footage, I'll probably end up putting it up. But the quality of this just was not that great, which is such a shame because I really did love the colors in this palette. I think this is like the second time I've been burned by Pinky Rose, so I probably won't be purchasing any of their palettes in the future because I always get excited on what they look like and then I get them and they're just not what I want in a palette. The quality just is never there for me. I'm going to get rid of this one. On the other hand, I do have the other Transition palette. I think this is the Luscious Plum palette. And you know what? The quality was not too bad for this one. Like, I did enjoy it. I did a video on it. I'm going to keep this one because I really love the colors in it. So I do have the original Shaaanxo palette by BH Cosmetics. I am going to get rid of this one simply because now I've got the colors in another palette. They're literally the same colors. And then on the other side of this one, there are lipsticks, which I never use. So I will be getting rid of this. I do have this cute little Take Me Home Colourpop eyeshadow palette. I haven't used this. It came free with my Colourpop order. So I think I'm going to keep it because I haven't tried it and it's really nice, like travel size as well. So I do have this little eyeshadow palette by Starry Boutique Colors. I got this from Shop Miss A. It was literally like $1. I got it because I was doing a $1 makeup tutorial, but I will be getting rid of this now because I just don't use it. I do have another Colourpop eyeshadow palette. This is the Dream Street palette, the collaboration with Kathleen Lights, which I honestly had no idea until I bought it. Honestly, the colors in this eyeshadow palette are gorgeous. I've used it a good few times now. I just seem to go back to it. The quality seems really nice, so I'm going to keep this. It's fairly new. I've only had it probably for a month. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette. Again, another one I will be keeping. I haven't had it that long. The quality is gorge, but yeah, I'll be keeping this. So now I've got a Designer Brands palette. This is the All Eyes on You palette. Oh, and a shadow just fell out. So I did do a video with this palette and the quality was really nice. I cannot complain about it, but it was limited edition. So I feel like I can't really film with it for you guys because you guys can't even get it anymore. I've come to the conclusion I've got all these colors, so I am going to pass it on. The most controversial palette in the bunch is the ABH Subculture palette. I'm going to keep this because I actually really like this palette. The colors are gorge again. The quality for some people is questionable, I guess, but for me it works, so I'm going to keep this palette. So I've got the Tarte Tartelette in Bloom palette. This is something I'm a bit torn on. I said in one of my other videos, it just does nothing for me. I feel like I'm going to give it another chance though because it was very expensive. I am going to give this palette another chance before I get rid of it. I haven't had it that long and I spent a lot of money on it. So next I've got this Model's Own Supernaturals palette. If you watched my video where I tried out a bunch of Model's Own makeup, you know I hated this eyeshadow palette. It just was not, it wasn't good. I was really disappointed because I really like the colors in it. I'm only going to keep this because I'm going to do a full face of makeup I'm throwing out and I'm going to use this eyeshadow palette in one of them. Next, I've got the W7 Delicious palette. And does it look familiar? Does it look like another palette we know of? So this looks exactly like the Modern Renaissance palette, and that is why I bought this, because I wanted to do a comparing video. I haven't even touched this yet, so I'm going to keep it. I've got another limited edition Urban Decay palette. So this is what the inside of this palette looks like. I'm actually going to pass this on. I've barely used it, but I do have all of these colors. I think that's why I haven't dipped into it, because I've got all these colors, but the quality of these palettes were really nice. So I do have this Essence My Must-Haves palette. Again, it's like a customization palette. I used these eyeshadow palettes before I even moved into this house, and the quality of these just weren't really up to par. I usually love Essence stuff, and I usually love a lot of their other eyeshadows. These particular ones just didn't do anything for me. I think like these two were okay, okay, and that one was just like meh. I do have another Designer Brands palette. This is the Paparazzi palette. Again, a very beautiful palette. The quality was really nice with this one as well, but I have all these colors and it was limited edition, so I will pass this on. Next, I've got this Mecca Too Faced palette. I believe it was for Mecca's birthday. So I haven't even used this palette, but honestly, it just, I don't know, looking at it doesn't really do anything for me. I probably won't use it. I think I'm just going to pass this on to someone who will actually use it and will appreciate it. Okay, so this packaging is honestly the best. It says Cute AF on it. This is the ColourPop Yes Please palette, and I bought this on recommendation from one of you guys. I believe it was Carla. I haven't used it yet, but it's something I want to use. So I'm obviously keeping it, and if you guys want to see a video on it, let me know. Okay, so next I've got the BYS Essentials Exposed palette. It says face, eyes, eye, and brow palette. I haven't even used this, so I don't really know what to do with it. Like, I feel like I don't really need any of this. I probably have all of these things. I was only going to keep it to do like a video for you guys. I probably would just pass it on unless you guys comment otherwise and want to see me do like a face with this. I've got no idea. But yeah, I'm going to put it in like the giveaway pile. So you guys are going to laugh. I've also got this Designer Brands Hollywood Glam palette. It is an all-in-one face palette and it looks bloody identical to that BYS one. Like the layout is the same. There's just different stuff like put in there. Like the other one has all the eyebrow stuff and this one's got like lip products. So wherever they get the packaging from, they obviously get it in the same place. I won't be using this. I'm going to pass it on to someone who will actually use it. So I've got this little Clara Cosmetics London eyeshadow and highlighter palette. I honestly haven't actually used this. The one thing I have used out of it is the highlighter, and oh my god, it is gorge. I think I'm just going to keep this palette simply for the highlighter. I've got this Ulta 3 Signature Essentials by Elise Knowles. I believe she was on The Block. I'm going to give this away just because I haven't used it at all, but I have no urge to use it either. I'm just going to have to move the camera up because it just doesn't want to like auto focus on everything. Next, I've got the Essence Naughty Girl eyeshadow palette. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't even use it. Probably was limited edition as well. I think I bought it for a video once upon a time. I've also got this Essence All About Nudes eyeshadow palette. I'm actually going to keep this simply because it's kind of like a staple in the Essence range and they never really change it. Like you can still get this palette. So that's the palette there. I'm just going to keep this one in case I do any Essence videos as well. Like you guys love my Essence videos. Next, I've got this Maybelline the Burgundy Bar palette. I've only used it once before and I really enjoyed it. The colors were really nice, so I'm going to keep this. And I've also got the Maybelline the Rock Nudes palette, which personally I probably won't use like ever, like all the time, but it's good for my videos. If you guys want to see cool tone looks with a drugstore eyeshadow palette, then you know this is probably a good one to keep around because I don't want to be like missing anything like out of my tutorials. I like to cater to everyone who wants different kind of looks. I've got this Australis Fake Eyed palette. I don't even know if you can still get this or not. I think I might get rid of it only because now they've brought out all those custom palettes. I can get these colors anyway for Australis eyeshadows. It probably will be easier for you guys to get as well. I just realized something. So see this palette here? It is exactly the same as the individuals because I only filmed with them today. But look, they're exactly the same. So they literally just turned this palette into singles. That's interesting. And this is from like 2 years ago and all the colors are the same as well. Dark Skies, Double Denim, that's what I used today on my eyes. That's the blue one in here. Well, I'm gonna get rid of it anyway because I've got double. I've got this Essence eyeshadow palette. It's pretty cool. This is the Live, Laugh, Celebrate palette. Again, it's another custom palette, but I won't be using any of these colors, so I'm going to pass it on to someone who wants them. They're just not really colors I can use, and I don't think I could create like a full look with this here, so I'm going to get rid of it. I've got this TZ Cosmetics palette with some singles, I believe. I've got some Makeup Geek in here, but also some Beauty Glamour Box eyeshadow singles, and I put this together myself, so obviously I like all the colors, so I'm going to keep this. I've got a lot of these, so I'm just going to go through them real quick. Got a Morphe 9B palette, so this is a blush palette, again really good for freelance, so I'm going to keep that. Got a Morphe 9N, it looks like more blushes, but they're different shades. I'm going to keep it. Morphe 9BZ, which looks like contours, bronzers, maybe banana powder. Going to keep it. I know this is a highlighter palette. This is the DD palette. I'm going to keep that. It's really beautiful. I'm definitely going to keep this Beauty Glamour Box palette. This one is the 35F. It seems to be all like those beautiful warm tones, shimmers. Going to keep that because I don't own like the Morphe, is it 350 palette? Okay, I'm definitely keeping the 35D palette by Beauty Glamour Box because I have nothing like this. I'm going to keep my Morphe 35P palette because I've used this before and I really liked it. I'm going to get rid of this Morphe 35W palette. I feel like I've got all these colors already. Okay, so this is the Beauty Glamour Box palette that I showed you before, and this is a Morphe palette, and the colors look slightly different, so I'm actually going to keep both of these. I think I only got rid of one out of that whole pile. Oops. I've got this little Beauty Glamour Box palette. This one is 12K and the colors are really beautiful in it, but I feel like I already have these, so I'm going to pass this on. And last but not least, I've got this Beauty Glamour Box palette. I've got these two here, and I think I'm gonna get rid of both of these because I've got all these shades. They're very similar as well, like there's not too much difference to them. So I'm going to get rid of both of these and pass these on to someone who wants them. But yeah, I think I got rid of at least a quarter of my collection, which is better than what I thought I was going to do. I could have done better, but this is my first declutter, so bear with me. I still have so many eyeshadow palettes, so I think I'm going to try and do these like every few months. Like I said, check back in 6 months to see if, you know, I used them or not, and if I didn't, I'll have to get rid of them. I just need to stop hoarding so much makeup. Oh yeah, I don't know, it's becoming a problem. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this decluttering video. I've got no idea how it went because I'm filming my intro and my outro at the same time, only because I've got all my lights set up and there's no way I'm resetting these up. I'm going to film it right now because after this portion I'm going down there near my drawers and I have to move all my lights over there. So, but yeah, I'll leave my Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat and Instagram down below if you want to go follow me on any of those, and I'll see you guys really soon in my next video. Bye.